thought I would continue on this trend of vlogging ordinary life, coming out of a extraordinary life. Is this the new demands of the content? It's possible because I used to check videos on YouTube and I would have like so many in my queue that I'd want to watch. Nowadays, not so much the case. I am following vlogs of mostly like other people's daily routines because I'm curious to know like what people do in their daily life. Like we all experience the same things. Like what are you doing? What are you cooking? What are you cleaning? What are you encountering? So I could probably incorporate it with more like videos and photographs and stuff like that. So just experimenting with the concept that could be maybe just the future of content creation is more that of just ordinary life and relating on ordinary life. So last night I met a friend for just I wanted to see her. I was like thinking I hadn't seen her in a few months. Like I went back to our text and I was like, goodness gracious, I haven't seen, oh, Joe's here. Good to see you. I was like, I hadn't seen her in a while. So I reached out and I was like, hey, do you want to do like lunch today? And it was a slim chance because it was so last minute. But I was like, let's get together tomorrow. So we met up, and it's so funny because we're both on these weight loss shots where you don't want to eat very much. So it's funny. It's like you want to see your friends, but like seeing your friends, like incorporating like food and drink, but neither of us like want to eat that much. We don't want to drink that much. We have to drive. And so we just got like cups of chicken noodle soup, and that was funny because we tipped the girl like a lot because we were just sitting there like eating chicken noodle soup. And then naturally I got a couple margaritas because I don't make them at home. So I had a couple margaritas and we both just had like chicken noodle soup. But we were sitting next to a guy who was like kind of like exuberant and funny. And I make small talk with him and we're chitting chatting and he like brings up his phone and he goes, well, first of all, he looks at my phone as I open it and he's like, oh my God, there's Donald. He's like gauging to see where I'm at. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. My phone just like feeds me like news. And as soon as I open it, I was like, but I never actually read it. And he's like, oh, that's funny. And then he opens his phone and he's like, oh, it appears as if the US struck Iran just now. But it was like he was gauging to see like where I was at. And I just said, I mean, I'm going home and going to bed. Like I'm going to have a great night's sleep. And he just laughed and laughed because he was like, it was this like thing that's like, dude, what am I going to do sulking about the war machine? What are we doing sulking about the war machine? If it's even true. So the book like 1984 by George Orwell, and in the end the guy asked the girl if there was even a war to begin with, and she was like, no, there was never a war to begin with. So they had a whole affair this whole time, and she never revealed to him her thoughts about it. But in the end, he was like, do you think there is really a war? And she's like, no, honey, there was never a war. So whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. This is like kind of the biggest revelation that I'm seeing from like-minded people on social media and content creation. Whether it's true or not, it makes no difference to where you stand right now. I made a vet appointment because I just was like, if your pet doesn't go to the vet for however long, you're just like, I just feel like a bad pet parent if I don't bring them to the vet every once in a while. But I'm not like a big juicer, right? I don't like backs them up. Jerry, there he is. I'm like, I just like get the like basics and then I'm just done with it, dude. So I think I'm flagged as an anti-vaxxer at my vet, and it's fine because the vet is like an Indian guy, and like Indians have a bit different like cultural awareness, but he admitted that he does everything by the law. So he's always trying to get the vet to like, he's always trying to get me to like juice my cat up, juice my pet up, which like I always do like the basics, but then I'm like, I don't want to go further than that. So I bring him in and it's like, I'm like, can you just like listen to his lungs, listen to his heart, you check his eyes, check his teeth, check his ears, do a blood panel, make sure he's healthy. I couldn't get a doodle out of him because he doodles somewhere in the wild because he's half outdoor. And he's just like trying to push the rabies thing again. It's like he got it in 2022. I'm like, it wasn't like that long ago. Like, and I don't what do you call it? I don't debate with him because we've had another conversation back at last year where he was telling me like, listen, the reason why we push this is because the government requires us to push this. So we have to. And I asked him, I was like, do pets really get rabies? And I know they do. Don't get me wrong. I know they do. And he was like, yes. He's like, yes, they do. And I was like, well, when was the last like rabies situation that was like known of? And he's like, there was a cat he's like in New York City. And he got rabies on the roof of a building. He's like, and they had to put the cat down. I'm like, okay, one case in New York City where they had to put a cat down because it had rabies. And the danger is that they transfer it to the human. And I'm like, well, then I asked him, I'm like, well, then why don't I get the rabies vaccine? Like, why don't you give it to me also? Like, why don't humans get the rabies vaccine? And the answer is like, oh, because, animals are more likely to get rabies in the wild. That's why they would rather juice them up than us. So if they're not just juicing us up because, oh, I guess it's so terrible for us, why are they juicing them up? I don't want to subject my cat to that. So this recent time, he's like, if you get bit by an animal and your animal, he's like, you go, like, I'm like, I don't think my animal's going to bite me to the point where I need stitches. Okay. These are the realms of possibilities. He's like, if you get bit by your animal and you go to the doctor, the first thing they're going to ask you is the last rabies shot that they had. He's like, and if it's not up to date, he's like, they're going to come and take your animal away from you. And I'm just like thinking to myself, like, I think I would take my chances. Spiritual warfare, come for me. Come for us. I'm like, I just think I would take my chances because, first of all, we're in a country setting right now, but I have plans to move us to a more like suburban area in the near future where I don't think my animal is going to encounter a bite. Also, he's got the original jab. And I don't remember this as a kid going to the vet with my parents that they were constantly juicing up our pets every single year. Like, I just don't remember. Even as a person, you get them as a kid and you get the meningitis backs when you go to college. I'm like, after that, I'm like, you don't continuously get juiced and juiced and juiced. So you got to like weigh out your options, and all realities are possible, but you just got to consider like which freaking thing are you willing to take a risk for? Because you're taking a risk whether you get the pet the jab, and this could go for children also. You're taking a risk if you get, because I'm like pattern recognition. In my mind, I'm thinking pattern recognition. All these people who juice their pets up, they come down with allergies, they get cancer, they get like terrible ailments. And the common denominator is they're totally up to date on their jab status. And I'm like, I would rather just get the basics, get what they need one time, and then just let the pet be healthy. It's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's like you feel stupid for not bringing your pet to the vet, and then you feel stupid when you go to the vet and you're just like, I'm not going to update the schedule. I'm not interested. Like, can you just make sure my pet is fine? But it's not a big fight. It's just like a weird time in that industry, in all healthcare industry right now that everyone is going through. So after that, I cleaned out my storage unit, which is like my laundry room is sort of like it's like a mini garage. You can't fit a car in there. There's a door. You can't fit a car in there, but I just accumulated so much crap. So I love cleaning out my storage unit in the laundry room, but I guess I hadn't done it in like over a year because my dog died a year ago and all this stuff was still in there. And I was like, did I really not clean this for a year? I guess not. And in that time frame, it's like it's not totally insulated like a house is. It's sort of like halfway. So there were all these bugs, all this dirt, all this dust, and it was like I had so much crap to get rid of, and I wanted to store all of my Christmas decorations properly. So I just like cleaned out my storage unit. I got rid of a ton of stuff, and I have so much more, like mostly clothing to get rid of because my weight has fluctuated so much. It's changed so much. I'm like, I don't even know what fits me anymore. Like, I don't know if I'm not going to wear it, I'm not going to wear it. But that's next. Today, I cleaned out my storage unit, and it was good to get rid of all that dirt and bugs. There was a spider that was dead that was so big. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I can't believe this spider's out. I've never seen a cockroach in my house, but there was like a dead cockroach, and I was like, oh my God, I've never seen one of those here. It felt so good to like clear all that crap out, get rid of a ton of stuff I got rid of. Just and beyond getting rid of stuff, just like cleaning every nook and cranny feels good. Also to make that like space walkable. Like now there's so much more room in the laundry room because there's not so much crap. So that felt really good. Scott, are you a hoarder? I'm not a hoarder. So what I do is I will package up my clothing. So if it's like winter and I'm packaging up my summer stuff, when I bring out my summer stuff, whatever I still don't want to wear the next year, I will get rid of. So I'm not a hoarder, but I do save clothing for 1 year. And then if I still don't want to wear it a year later, like if I'm still not willing to like put it back up in the closet, like I will just donate it or get rid of it. That's just kind of like my way of doing things. I don't like to get rid of things like so abruptly. And there's definitely a little bit of PTSD because I was very poor at one point. But I found that like I've really come out of that because in years past, like I would pull out summer clothing and I would think to myself, why did I save this? Like, this is so like not wearable. Why would I save this? But I realized it's PTSD for like a mentality that you might not have the money to get new clothes. So I remember saving clothing that is so not salvageable and then being like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. So, probably the opposite of a hoarder, but my mom's even worse. My mom had a mentality. She said, if you don't use it within the month, it should go in the garbage. So, she was like the extreme opposite. And she used to call me a pack rat, but like as an adult, I've developed my own methods of like how I do things. If the shoes you haven't worn in a year, 2 years, like you should probably get rid of them. But this is why I put them into boxes and put them away, is because you wouldn't really realize how much time has passed if you didn't put them away. So I do like cycle things out seasonally, decorations, home decor, clothing. Like I cycle it out seasonally, put it away, and then when the season comes again, I'll take them out, and whatever I still want to keep, I keep, and then everything else I get rid of. but my mom was like the extreme opposite. And it's so funny because she would like try to throw out my baby dolls. And I'm like, you need to keep this stuff forever, Mom. This stuff you don't just get rid of. So it's kind of like a harmony between like my mom calling me a pack rat, and then the opposite is like my mom would throw anything you didn't use within 1 month out. And that's how I grew up. My house was like uh as if it was, and this is the way she liked it. My mother loved our house as if it was going on sale, like as if it was being like placed on the market. So she kept our house very pristine as if it was about to be placed on the market for sale. So that's how she kept it. It was like totally sterile. So I'm like the opposite now. Size 12, maybe 10 if you squeeze in. Well, this is weird because I am a solid size 6, but since I turned 35, you start to gain weight in your hips. So I'm like, gotta try everything on again because I'm 36 now and I'm pulling out clothing from last year. And also, I shop sales. So this is another thing about like saving money. If you shop sale inventory, if you look at the reviews of the sale inventory, sometimes pants and shirts are on sale because if you look at the reviews, they'll say that they run too small or too big. So I would like shop sales online, and then I would see like the reason why it's on sale is because it runs too small. So then I would buy like a size 10 when I'm really like a 6'8". 8 is pushing it. But I mean, as a 36-year-old, and the way that you like store weight, you're like, I probably have to accept that 8 is probably going to be my weight for a long time. But anyways, like I do have clothing that is like all over the place because I shop sales. And if you shop sales, it pays to read the reviews. Because the only reason that piece of clothing is on sale, was it because it ran too big? Was it because it ran too small? So I guess I've sort of screwed myself in that sense, where I don't even know what size I am because I have clothing that is like all over the place based on, however it was made. Joe, I do that too. Do you ever watch those crazy hoarding videos? I do. My dad came to visit like not too long ago, and we like seriously, I'm not even exaggerating, we sat and watched hoarder videos all day long. Because my dad and I are similar natured where like we can just sit and watch TV all day long. Like we're very ladies of leisure. We can sit and watch TV all day long, dude. And the last time my dad came to visit, we sat and watched hoarder videos like all day long. Like to the point where we were like, we should probably shower. We should probably make plans for dinner because we were so into the hoarders. You're watching these people who like they think they're just hoarders, and then they clear the house out, and then the state comes and condemns the house. They're like, you cleared all this crap out just to find out that your entire living room was full of mold, and they have to condemn the house. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's so interesting. And actually, if you're like a Gen Z or trying to figure out what to do with your life, there was so we were watching Hoarders, but we found a documentary about, there's a gentleman in Boston who he went to school for psychology, and he saw a government grant from the state of Massachusetts to try and help hoarders because I guess they didn't have that much help. So this gentleman was like, these people need serious help. Like they need a whole department within psychology under the branch of the government of Massachusetts. So he did. He got money. He got grants to create a job for many people who could also get these jobs in this arena. He's like, these people need help. And so, yeah, he would go in, and if he could just clear out just a hallway at a time, he would go in, he would clear out just a hallway at a time. He's like, they need baby steps. He's like, they need like a case manager. He's like, they need people to like go in like bit by bit, not just like so hoarders is like they want to clear everything out like that day, and it really freaks people out. So this guy was like, what if we just have like a case management team that just goes and helps them just to clear one hallway at a time, just to clear one little area at a time. And the state of Massachusetts went for it. And so there's a whole documentary of this guy who was like, we're going to like go in and we're going to like create a relationship with these people. And sometimes they will get condemned, but he's like, sometimes they just need like a little bit of help throughout the seasons. So that was also like captivating within itself, is just like problem solution. I think a lot of new jobs that Gen Zers could have, and I wish they were a thing. So I was just like fellowshipping on TikTok, just watching TikToks, and I follow Gen Zers because I think that they're like the future. So I listen to what they have to say. And I think in particular, this one guy was saying, he's like, trying harder and making money the way you used to try hard and make money, he's like, it's not working anymore. Like, you have to, he didn't say this, but I'm thinking like, you have to find new ways of making money. And I think about this all the time. All the time do I think about this. If I was like Gen Z and I had no direction in life, what would I do? I would do something like go to school for psychology. I would get involved with case management of hoarders. I would deal with waste management because we don't have a good recycling situation. So I pay a guy like seriously $40 a month. That's like nothing. And he just takes my trash, like just takes it. He doesn't recycle. He doesn't do anything. If a Gen Zer came and advertised, hey, like, let me take your recycling, I would pay that dude so much money. I would be just one account, but I would pay a lot of money to have somebody take my recycling, like to help me divvy up my garbage. Massive industry there. Massive industry. I think about this all the time. I had a rat total my car. And when because a rat was like eating up my wires, like every night, the little bastard was coming back and he was eating my car. So I kept going to the mechanic thinking that they were screwing up and not saying it, but like, it was like, my car keeps breaking. My car keeps breaking. Well, we found out that there was a rat that was coming every single night to eat all the crap in my car that was like totaling my car, which was already pretty an old car, so it wasn't a big deal. But the whole time it was just a rat. But when I found out it was a rat, I wished, and I Googled if there was a specialist that could help with rodents in vehicles. And there's no such thing, because in your desperation, you're like, I just want to seek out a specialist to come and do pest control on my car. There's no such thing. What's also funny is, being a hairdresser, I talked to a ton of people. Almost every client I had said that they experienced this or knew somebody who experienced this also. And it's like, what a great opportunity for somebody to make a business out of pest control for vehicles, specifically vehicle pest control. Gen Z seriously can make a ton of dough if they think outside the box. You find a problem and you create a solution, and people are so ready. They're so willing. And there's money to be had if you would just solve a problem. So this is why I agree with what this man was saying. He's like, you're not going to make money just trying harder, right? Try harder in the system, because I've been fed that narrative also. Oh, just try harder. And I'm like, I think I would rather just burn the whole house down and like let God take the wheel. And that's exactly what I did. So in like a new economy, I think about all these jobs that Gen Zers could find just from fixing a problem in society, which is one, my trash removal. If somebody came and advertised recycling, they would take my recyclables from the country. So I'm in the country. I would pay that kid $100 every 3 months when they charge me 150 every 3 months. I would seriously, that's the amount I would pay. I would pay this kid a membership, $100 every 3 months, just like I pay them 150 every 3 months. And this is on top of paying regular. That's how much I'm willing to pay to be able to recycle. And when my car was getting eaten up by a rodent, you know how much money you could save by hiring somebody who's professional and getting rodents out of vehicles? You can't put a price on that when you compare it to how much you're going to spend at the car mechanic. These kids have their money is like all wrapped up in their mind. Like their money is all wrapped up in the possibilities of what could be. Because it's not going to be me, because I'm already a successful hairdresser and my industry is the beauty industry, health, beauty, and wellness. So like I'm not going to go out and start one of these like nuanced jobs, but I see all the nuanced jobs and I'm like, it wouldn't take much at all to market to me pest control for vehicles, or market to somebody, to the government, hoarding specialists, case managers for hoarders. There are so many jobs that could be created if Gen Zers would just start somewhere and solve a problem that already exists. Yeah, Joe, she's a Gen Z. Yeah, just think like that, dude. Problem and then find a solution. People will pay for it because it's not that we don't have the money. We just don't have like anybody to do it for us. Especially as like there's like a loneliness epidemic where like we're not as resourceful because America is such a lonely country. So like we do want to pay money to do something because we don't know that many people, if that makes any sense. Like, I mean, I would just pay money for somebody to do something because I'm like, I don't have the knowledge and like I don't have anybody to like do it for me. So you're seeing that a bit in like, I have a great junk removal team, you know, people who are willing to help you move. TaskRabbit is a great place to start. TaskRabbit.com is like the Uber of like, help me put my IKEA furniture together, help me do this, help me do that, help me do this, help me do that. There are so many people who are lonely. I mean, pet sitting. There are so many people who are lonely. I follow all these vlogs that I'm talking about, but they're all lonely people. In the last vlog I watched, the girl was like, I really want to go travel North Finland. She's like, but I need somebody to watch my cat. So this is like a lonely person living in Finland. She's a content creator. And she's like, I have these plans, but I need a good cat sitter. Rover.com. I mean, people need help. Everywhere lonely people need help because people are relocating to places where like they don't know people. So they need help. I mean, mega economy boom. You can run the beauty business, notice your nails, eyebrows, etc. Yeah. Yeah, and more to come because the beauty industry is also, it seems, transitioning into health and wellness and anti-aging, because that's all me and my clients are talking about lately is health and wellness and anti-aging. So I suspect that the beauty industry will merge with healthcare. Because if you feel so much better when you get your hair cut and you get your hair done, there's a health boost. Beyond that, beauty and anti-aging is synonymous with health. So me and all my clients are talking about all the ways that we are combating anti-aging, because I turned 35 last year and I all of a sudden started gaining all this weight in my stomach. And I was like, I don't want this. I don't want it in the chin. I don't want it anywhere. And as a young child growing up, I remember telling myself, I will never do that. I will never let myself go. I will never just forfeit to the nature So there's more I can say in like updated videos, because I did order a machine that is like the radio and sound frequency. I was going to a friend of a friend, and she was doing radio and sound frequency on my chin to like get rid of all the fat under here. But I looked up on Amazon, you can buy it yourself. So I've been researching and I bought one myself because I'm like, I am not going to live the rest of my life with fat dangling under my chin. And it's also a part of my industry, health and wellness. I never experienced so much anti aging until I did a liver detox. And I have a subscription to a liver detox that I do every single day. And I can see the difference. If you don't do all of these modalities, you will age. You know, and it goes into personal relationships. Like if you're around like a shitty spouse, like they will suck the life out of you. They will age you. So it also ties into love and relationships, psychology. It's all intertwined. Health, beauty, wellness, health, love, psychology, relationships, therapy, blah, blah, blah. It's all intertwined, because a crappy spouse or a crappy workplace, they're going to age you. You're going to gain weight and you're going to look old. They're going to suck the life out of you. The narcissist, we're all away from them. Yeah, think smart, not hard. That's like the whole thing with Gen Z. Love a cut and color from you. Conversation would be epic. Yeah, and it would be totally supported in my salon because nobody is like a weirdo where I work. Like everybody's like on the same page. 67 years young. Exactly. I have clients who are in their 70s and like you wouldn't believe it. You're like, they look so good. I had one gal recently, she was like in like 70 something, but speaking of the radio frequency that I was talking about on my chin, she's like, me and my husband like bought one of these machines a long time ago. She's like, and we do it. And she looks like Cher. She looks completely ageless. And I always think about their lifestyle. She has children who are obviously still young and healthy, and she has grandchildren that she loves. She wants to see them grow up. This is the whole thing about love and anti aging. It's not like you're insecure about the way you look. It's not like you just can't handle a little fat here and there. It's more than that. Like these people that I encounter and that I resonate with, it's like because there are little ones that are being born that you're like, I want to stick around for them. Like they have something to live for. Like I want to stick around to see them grow up. That's the thing. And love is super anti aging, as it is. Love is super anti aging also. You look really great. Oh my gosh, that's so nice of you to say. I'm just in my pajamas with no makeup or anything. Ultrasound break down fat. Yeah, it does. That's what the machine does. It breaks down fat and it tightens the skin. And health is wealth, no doubt. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of like looking my age because I don't feel my age, and nobody needs to do that. Like we can all just find new and different ways of aging. Joe, stop your gorge always. Oh my god, you're so sweet. But yeah, you know, like I really like I try hard. That's the thing. Like I try hard, but not in like an insecurity. I'm genuinely interested in life extension technology in my own way. Not in the way of the weirdos of the world, not in their freaky weird way. I don't even want to get into it. How these weirdos have their own freaking agenda of how they anti-age, and it involves vampirism and all kinds of weird shit, and there's no love. No, dude, anti-aging in cultivating a culture of love and then finding what resources you have available to you and utilizing them. And then natural health care and utilizing that. That's all. That's all. All right, cool. So just quick update for today. This is like me vlogging my ordinary life. And I think this is what the content is demanding because this is all I watch. I just watch a lot of other women with very low anxiety. I always laugh because I'm like, oh, I wish I had that nervous system. Like I watch a lot of vlogs of women's lifestyles that have no anxiety, no problems, no. But I'm getting there. Like, I do feel if I had like a spiritual high blood pressure, I feel like my blood pressure is lowering to the point where I could be a different person because my blood pressure is lowering. Like, I just last week decided I need to stop being in a hurry. I realized I'm always in a hurry for some reason. Not in work, not in that, but like in my day-to-day life, like I'll make coffee and there might be a mess around the coffee pot, but I'll just like grab the coffee and run away. Where I'm like, "Wait a second, I'm not in a hurry. Let me clean up the coffee grounds. Let me clean up the spout where I heated up my latte." I'm like, I'm not in a hurry. I'm like, what the hell have I been doing? My body language, I was paying attention to. And I'm like, my body language is screaming that I'm in a hurry or I'm stressed. And I'm like, and I'm not. So I decided to put my mind over whatever. And I'm just like, girl, you're not in a hurry. You're not in a hurry. Stop. Slow down. You're not in a hurry. And it's inspired from the vlogs of other girls that I watch that they're not in a hurry. And I'm like, I didn't even realize I was in a hurry. I like life. It's really interesting. Life is interesting. Life in this body is interesting. Yeah, it's authentic. Insightful conversation, authentic. That's all it is. We crave authenticity. That's it. This is like the content. Like, we crave authenticity and inspiration from others and to others. Very relaxing. All right. Well, you the right kind of people. Love y'all so much. Have a beautiful night. Talk to you again really soon.